Tools and Twisties, Precision Tools, Performance Cars. Today was the Harbor Freight 40% off icon socket day. I went there early this morning when they opened, grabbed a few things. I have a lot of really nice tools. I have a lot of higher end tools, but I wanted to try out this Quinn 72-piece master socket set on sale, 40% off. It's 65 bucks. And I had been kind of impressed even with the Pittsburgh low-end ratchets recently, and I wanted to see what Quinn was putting out these days. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this kit. Here it is here, and it is a full metric and standard kit. And on the metric, it is sizes 6 through 24, deep and shallow, no skips. That's actually pretty impressive. And on the standard, I don't use standard a lot, but it's always nice to have some standard for different projects. And that's really what this box is, not as my primary toolkit, but as something to keep as a standalone kit for when I might need something away from home, away from my garage. 1/4 inch to 1 inch. And it's made in Taiwan, not China. It's labeled as made in Taiwan. Comes with a ratchet. Comes with a couple extensions and a universal. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Sealed head ratchet, fairly thin, low profile. You know, it's not gonna win any back drag awards against a Koken, but pretty nice. Feels good in your hand, nicely chromed. You know, sort of a snap-on look. It's a little bit smaller than, you know, what a snap-on size ratchet would be. Oh, this is a longer one, but you can see just the handle itself is just a little bit thinner, a little bit narrower. But I gotta say, I'm really impressed. The sockets look well built. In fact, let's compare 19 millimeter. This is a Quinn 19. This is a snap-on 19. By the way, 65 bucks for this entire set. This socket alone from Snap-on, $42. So yeah, you're definitely getting a little bit of a discount. But the chrome is nice, the quality is nice, the wall thickness is similar, the chamfering on the bottom. You know, the Snap-on has a little bit of knurling that the Quinn does not have. But the Quinn is a whole lot easier to read sizes on than Snap-on. And I also have an icon here in 19. This is a mid-deep instead of a deep, so it's not a direct comparison. But actually comparing the Quinn to the icon, there's some things I like better about the Quinn. I know that's hard to believe. It's a little bit thinner. Maybe that makes it a little bit less strong, but the wall thickness is more similar to what the Snap-on is, and it gives you more clearance in more places. And the icon's a little bit thicker, but very similar. Chrome quality is the same against the Quinn has a little bit of knurling because it's sort of a copy of the Snap-on, but super hard to read the sizes on it. There it is, 19. You can just make it out. Whereas on this one, pretty easy to see. So that's the sockets. And you know, comes with some extensions. And here's the Quinn extension. Here's an icon extension, slightly different size. Again, the knurling is a little different, but these are not vastly different quality levels, in my opinion. And they're both lifetime warranty. So, you know, if you manage to break the Quinn, bring it back and they'll give you a new one. Here's the Snap-on. I only have the Snap-on extension in a longer size. By the way, this single 10-inch extension is basically the price of this entire Quinn kit here. It's about $62. So you're definitely getting some value. Let's take a look at the ratchet and a socket. Let's do Quinn. So here's icon. This is the new G2 flex head. So it's not direct apples to apples because on the G2 ratchets, they're not making kind of standard length ones yet. And a little bit of snap-on action. And I gotta say, this is not junk. This is a very, very decent tool that I would be happy to work with. And if I was on a budget, I'd be happy to have this as my primary tool set. And having a no skip set, 1/4 inch to 1 inch in standard, deep and shallow, that pretty much covers everything. They have the same, they have a Quinn kit in 1/2 inch, and they have a Quinn kit in 1/4 inch. But quite honestly, rarely am I going to need something smaller than 6mm, and rarely am I going to need something bigger than 24. What does it go up to? Yeah, 24. So I think this is the pick of the litter. And it's a fairly compact ratchet head, so one advantage of 1/4 inch is that sometimes you get it into smaller places, but that's not bad. With the compact head, it's not bad. You know, the ratchet's a little, maybe just a little bit stiff on back drag. On a new ratchet sometimes. A lot of people take them apart and re-grease it. I'm not a big believer in that. This is a 90, I think it's a 90 tooth ratchet. And sometimes, you know, super lube works great on some ratchets, and others it will make them stick. Some want an oil, some want a grease. So I kind of, you know, trust the manufacturer to do the right thing unless it's really just in bad shape. This one's not bad. By the way, if you have a new ratchet and you want to get it broken in a little faster, that's 1 week's of use. There's another week. At any rate, you can, and I did that a little bit before I filmed, and that certainly opened it up a little bit. The kit also, the blow mold is okay. I'm not a huge fan of blow mold, but it is nice that it keeps it all together. And you can pull it apart. It's got these little hinges on it, and we'll use an Icon plier to do this because why not? It's Harbor Freight. But you pull the pins out, and then you can just put it in your tool drawer as you need it. And if you ever do need to put it back together, just throw the pins in. So I have to say, I am really pleasantly surprised. Everything looks decent quality. I mean, the universal is nice. I know that the Icon general service kits are available too, but I gotta be honest, I don't love the fact that with the Icon general service kit, you're getting the old ratchets that have been replaced. You're not getting these nice G2 ratchets. If it came with the G2 ratchets, maybe, but I'd say get this Icon. This is I'd say this Quinn it's pretty much as good as the earlier generation Icon ratchets. Sealed head, small, compact. Get yourself another ratchet. Get yourself some 1/4 inch sockets to go with this. So at any rate, that's a 2 thumbs up for me. And I think this is an awesome kit. And at 65 bucks, it's a bargain. I don't know how hot these will be on the sales. Probably not the one everyone's going for. So maybe go over to your Harbor Freight. Starts today if you're an ITC member. Starts on Friday if you're a regular member. And pick up one of these Quinn 72-piece 70317. If you want a very decent second toolkit or a primary toolkit on a budget, I think it's awesome. So that's Tools and Twisties for today, and we are out.